that maybe they aren't as in sync as possible. Imagine they do that to the Revival too.
True.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is predictions between Ken, myself, Allison, and James.
Nick
could not be here, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Across the board, B team.
B team.
Everyone's calling B team.
Everyone's calling B team.
B stands for best.
Da 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 da. The B team.
B stands for Believe It.
Da 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 da. Hey. Well, hey,
Hey, they were trying to get Roman to party with them.
Hey.
Believe it.
Hey, if by some chance I lose, I think I already got my parody song.
By the way, that's true. While the champion will be crowned again, whether it'll be Ken, myself, James, or Allison, the loser, the very last place, gets to perform Kaufman Karaoke.
Kaufman Karaoke.
But in order for that to happen, we still need to keep these predictions going. So next up is the Cruiserweight champ. When's the last time we saw a Cruiserweight match on a pay-per-view?
Well, we usually see it on a pay-per-view, just not on the actual main card. We usually see him on the kickoff show. And SummerSlam is sadly no different.
Yeah.
All right. So,
no different.
So we have the Cruiserweight champion, Cedric Alexander, versus Drew Gulak. That's Drew Gulak. 2 feet on the ground and marching 2 feet on the ground, marching towards a better 205 Live. All right. So
Cedric versus Drew.
Cruiserweight championship.
Cruiserweight.
Cruiserweight.
1 sec, I'm not seeing it right now.
All right. Well,
should be there.
In the meantime. Listen.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I uploaded all 13 of them. They should.
I'm pretty sure it's there.
Okay. Well, while we are waiting for the Cruiserweight title picture to be uploaded, let's go through the match.
Yeah.
So basically, Gulak won the right a fatal 4-way match to win number 1 contendership for the Cruiserweight Championship. He has since aligned himself with the nefarious duo of the Brian Kendrick and Gentleman Jack Gallagher.
All right.
It's literally just a black picture. I'm sorry about that.
Just a black picture.
Must have been a ping file.
Yeah, must have not gotten right.
All right. So
anyway,
the question stems. Is this going to be Cedric's downfall?
Well, Cedric has been a valiant champion.
He's beaten a lot of people that fans have thought would take the title. Buddy Murphy, Mustafa Ali multiple times. Hideo Itami.
I mean, he has faced all challengers and beaten him thusly. However, he's run up against. They've never had the backup that Gulak has had in Kendrick and a former cruiserweight champion.
The one thing that's been the case since WrestleMania cruiserweights or cruiserweight tournament is the fact that they're back to basics, where it's one-on-one, no shenanigans. This is honestly the first time since then that we're actually going to have a possibility for foul play.
And we've seen the outside shenanigans in Gallagher's in singles matches with Gallagher versus Alexander and Kendrick versus Alexander. And what's been their focus? Alexander's neck. Cedric's neck. Because Gulak has a vicious dragon sleeper submission called the Gulak. So basically, what they've been doing in every match, yes, that's what it's called, the Gulak.
He's Gulaking it in.
But I like puns. That was just too bad.
All right. So anyway, Gulak has been using his political savvy to have his cohorts weaken up Cedric's neck. So by the time of his title match, Cedric will be easy pickings and take the Cruiserweight Championship.
So will Cedric prove the valiant champion, or will he fall victim to the political power that is Drew Gulak and friends?
Yes. This message brought to you by Drew Gulak and friends. Anyway, as much as I've liked Alexander's performances as champion, I mean, he's held it since WrestleMania. He's had a phenomenal run, I think, possibly on par with Neville's.
Wow.
I think he's had a great run. But it's time for some new blood in the Cruiserweight title division. in the title scene. I'm going with Drew Gulak.
All right. Unfortunately, you are an island because everyone else has picked Cedric.
Wow.
Cedric, well, the way I've seen it is Cedric has proven himself time and time again that he can beat adversity, beat any challengers that say that they are due the championship. And to be perfectly honest, he's dealt with Drew Gulak before. Maybe not in this incarnation, but he's seen what he can do. And the fact is, I don't see Alexander losing the title just yet.
All right. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the final kickoff match of the pre-show, you have a mixed tag match with the lovely couple, the lovely Rusev Day couple of Lana and Rusev.
Versus Andrade, Cien Almas, and Selena Vega.
The Duo Tranquilo.
The Duo Tranquilo.
All right. So basically, this has come up since Rusev's failed run at the WWE Championship. Unfortunately, and thanks to his erstwhile partner in crime and song,
Aiden English has been trying to help, but keeps costing them the match instead.
Exactly. And then this has backfired for both Lana and Rusev in their respective matches.
So the question now stems during this match, is he going to play a factor?
Will he indeed? I believe so, but I think not only will it backfire, I think this time, I think it's intentional. I think this is where the split finally goes down. As much as I've loved the pairing, as much as Aiden's own song stylings inspired Kaufman karaoke,
it's true.
As much as we appreciate his minstrel efforts, I think this is where they part ways. I imagine they'll have like a little one-off match, and then and then it'll just be Rusev and Lana going forward.
It definitely happen.
So in this case, I gotta go with Almas and Vega.
And I agree. I think Andrade at the moment seems to be getting a push. Ever since his match with AJ impressed a lot of people.
Finally.
Yes.
Finally. And after 3 months?
And this is technically his first pay-per-view match. So
actually, he did actually.
No. Sin Cara.
He had his kickoff match with Sin Cara. So his
All
second
right.
pay-per-view.
His second pay-per-view. But honestly, do you want to see him lose just yet? No. I don't think so.
I'm sorry, not even to Rusev.
Yeah. I mean, sure, Allison and James disagree and say Rusev Day.
Rusev Day.
I mean, it literally splits it down the middle.
Well, you gotta have Rusev Day. You gotta. Every day's Rusev Day.
Every day is Rusev Day.
All right, so yeah, like you said, split right down the middle.
Split right down the middle.
All right, Rusev.
Now we get to the main card.
And of course, we start out with
the most important match.
Fantastically humdrum feud.
The feud that spawned because they still need to use the material they had for Big Cass and Daniel Bryan.
Because they had leftover writing material. You know, Corbin's the same height as Bryan. Let's have Corbin call him short.
It is Baron.
That's it. That's the base. That's the foundation for this wonderfully average feud.
They're fighting over shampoo.
Well, hey, I mean, here's the thing. You're implying that Corbin had talent on the level of Booker T and Edge.
Not even close.
Yeah, so you can't even compare. I'm sorry.
All right, Finn Balor versus Constable Corbin. We're not kidding here, people. Baron got Finn a dollhouse and said that's his new locker room.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's been about the peak of this feud, it's sad to say.
And of course, he did it while Finn was talking to fellow Shorty McShorterson, Chad Gable.
Mm-hmm. Ready, willing, and...
Ready, willing, and Gable.
All right. So anyway, Balor got the win at Extreme Rules. Corbin got the win back on Raw.
Yep.
So you got a rubber match here. No, you think we're in the rubber capital of the world. All right, but in this case, I gotta go with Balor. Yeah. Corbin's an authority figure. Constable Corbin.
I think it helps him to lose because it gives him a better chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, he doesn't need the win. He doesn't need to win. I'm going with Balor.
I'm going with Balor. Allison's going with Balor. James going with Balor. Everyone agrees. Besides,
we're a Balor Club, baby.
Besides, if Finn wins, maybe he gets to go to the IC title picture.
I would like to see that. And actually, you know what? Let's move on to that. Let's move right to the IC title. We are talking the champion Dolph Ziggler
versus Seth Burn It Down
Seth freaking Rollins. There we are. All right. This is for the Intercontinental title. I'm a little miffed that they didn't slap a stipulation on this, since they had the Iron Man match at Extreme Rules. But as it is, okay, these two have good chemistry.
They're great chemistry.
I have no doubt they can put together.
They're the first duo to have the IC title be in the main event since Hart and Bulldog.
True. Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Fact. Look it up. All right. So, but really, the intrigue in this lies in the outside involvement, the outside participants.
Yes. Drew McIntyre, the Scottish psychopath.
We have a lot of international psychopaths on these shows, don't we?
All right. I imagine if he didn't actually put his demon paint on again.
Ooh. Spooky. All right. And, of course, returning
Triple H Light. I mean, Dean Ambrose.
Triple H, the Triple H Costco edition, Dean Ambrose.
I can imagine Dean working at Costco. I imagine that Costco is going to have to go out of business in a week, but...
Ooh, okay.
But yeah, no, Dean Ambrose is back. He looks amazing.
He looks pumped.
He looks like he talked to Scott Steiner a bit.
Oh yeah, he looks jacked. He got the Triple H haircut. He got the Scott Steiner shoulder, the Triple H hunt shoulders.
And he was running around like he does not need to heal anymore.
Not at all.
So the question stems.
Don't tear a quad, Dean.
Oh God.
I mean, all he needed was the leather jacket.
So here he's going to interfere. The question is, who's he going to interfere?
Whose side is he on? Did I get that right?
Pretty much.
Okay. But really, I mean, that's the question. Whose side is Dean on?
Normally, when someone comes back with a new look, it tends to come with a new personality.
It's foreshadowing, more or less. I mean,
Sheamus.
Return to Society. Sheamus had the look. We thought he was coming back to help Bryan. Boom, puts his lights out.
Mm-hmm.
So now, I think this is the same for Ambrose here. And you have to remember, I'm quoting Rollins here from a recent interview he had. He said that even though he felt bad for Dean, for his injury, it has been the biggest blessing in disguise for his singles career. Now, what do you think someone with an established fragile psyche like Dean Ambrose will handle that? The fact that he let this former brethren of his, the former brethren who stabbed him in the back 4 years ago, and was so very hesitant to let him back into his life, suddenly reveals, essentially it was great using Dean to get back into the singles picture. How do you think he's going to handle that?
And let's see. Dean went on the shelf. Seth now got Jason Jordan. They became tag team champs too. Then Jason Jordan went out. And then he became the IC champion.
At WrestleMania.
And then he became what a lot of people consider the face of Raw. A lot of people thought Dean would become the biggest out of the three of the Shield. Seth just keeps going higher and higher while Dean was on the proverbial shelf. The first time he was ever on the shelf due to injury.
So, I mean, there are a lot of people who are saying that Ambrose will likely turn on Rollins after SummerSlam. I think it goes down at SummerSlam. I mean, because here's the thing. Ambrose versus Rollins, a feud of that magnitude, doesn't need a championship.
Very true. Not to mention, it'll be a return feud with the roles reversed.
Exactly. So, I'm going with Ziggler to retain on
I agree with that one. As does James. James also thinks Ziggler. But Allison thinks Seth is going to win back the IC belt.
Well, I'd be for that too.
I wouldn't mind it at all. But here's the thing. One of the main reasons, another reason is if Dolph keeps the belt, that means another babyface spot open for the challenge, which is Finn Balor. And imagine if he has no one on the side, no one behind him, so maybe he has to dig deep to find a way to win.
Not to mention Balor versus McIntyre. Yes,
that
please.
I would love to see.
I'd pick Ziggler just for the name. That's a great name.
People had to get used to Dolph Ziggler as a name.
Well,
what's his name again? Nick Nolte or something like that?
Yeah, it's funny you say Dolph Ziggler because I'm going to bring up a little name origin thing that might perk your interest or disturb you. I'll bring it up to you after the show.
All right.
All right.
You can't just do that when you're on the air because now you've got everybody who's watching interested in what you're going to be talking about.
Well, maybe they can ask on the comments section and we'll inform them.
It maybe if someone actually tunes in and offers a comment, we'll answer it.
Yes.
Hint, hint, hint.
So.
And anyway, okay. Moving on to the next match.
Yes.
All right.
So it's not a title per se. Hi, moving on. Someone found that.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured it out.
So.
Yeah, let me guess. Nick put that at the top of the file list.
Yeah, actually was pretty close.
Yeah, shocker. I know.
So it's not a title per se.
But it has some
pretty big implications.
Ramifications for a particular title match.
Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens.
Nope, sorry, hold on. Braun
Strowman versus Kevin Owens. And here's the thing. Yep, there we go. Braun Strowman can lose the belt.
That basically explains it, right? That right there.
If Braun loses in any way, Owens gets the briefcase.
If Braun loses by DK, KO wins the case. If
Braun loses by DK, KO gets the
DQ. If Braun loses by disqualification, KO wins the case.
If he loses by count out,
KO wins the case.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, any which
Braun can only win via pinfall. I would say submission, but he's never made anyone submit.
He could just step on someone's hands and they probably tap out.
Yeah, very possible.
That could be a submission. Just step on his hands. Yeah. I tap out. But that's just me.
I'm just imagining, you, Skrull, I need to know how to break fingers.
Oh, that's a scary combination. Okay.
So.
This is actually one that's hard to call because, WWE management's high on Kevin Owens.
You don't see it doesn't look at times, but
he recently signed a 5-year deal.
Oh yeah.
Essentially, at this point, he signed like basically a deal for the rest of his.
He signed his career away.
He
signed it
the rest of his career.
He's career monogamous. How about that?
He's career monogamous with WWE. That's actually a good term. Career monogamous with WWE. Mm-hmm. So and typically WWE likes to reward loyalty. So who's to say that he wouldn't get rewarded the Money in the Bank briefcase and cash it in later in the night?
He'd be the first 2-time Universal Champion.
Very much. That would be very.
That'd be pretty cool. Here's the thing, Braun. They put so many stipulations on Braun that it makes it seem almost like they like to do the swerve.
Essentially, they like to build this up, and then it literally come the match, it just ends up being a non-factor.
Just like, Braun was bullying Kevin Owens the entire time, so of course Kevin had to win somehow.
And also look at Owens' last Universal title match with Goldberg. I thought there was gonna be so much build up with Jericho getting involved, with possibly Lesnar getting involved, and costing Goldberg the match.
Jericho came out for just his intro. Surprise! Boom, ring, ring, spear,
jackhammer. That's
1, 2, 3.
That's all there was to it. So believe me, they could have so much build up to this match and ultimately have it mean nothing. So I gotta think it's more of the same here.
Yeah.
Again, this match could go either way.
Very true.
But I gotta stick with Braun. I gotta stick with Braun because
it's Braun across the board.
Ooh.
Everyone thinks Braun. In fact, James is so confident he's locking on that one.
Ooh.
So, extra brawny points for James.
Okay. All right. So now we move on to the United States Championship match. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy.
Jeff is coming back to reclaim his 5th eye. That's what he keeps calling it, his 5th eye?
Well, he's got 2 painted eyes. He's got 2
eyes. He's got 2 eyes here, 2 eyes there, and apparently his 5th is on his gut when he has the belt.
And he's got 1 working ear hole.
1 working ear hole.
Thanks to Randy Orton.
If the U.S. title is his 5th eye, does that mean he sees everything Nakamura sees because Nakamura's carrying it around?
Yeah, you think he'd be able to. You think he'd be able to see Nakamura?
So that means anytime Nakamura and Jeff are about to take each other on, does that mean Jeff's looking at himself?
I never knew Jeff to be that narcissistic.
He's pumped up, man. He's all set. He's ready. His synapses are firing everywhere.
Yeah, we're thinking too much about this. Moving on.
Okay.
Okay.
So Shinsuke versus Jeffy.
Well, I mean, the story again lies in the intrigue of The intrigue lies in the outside party. This being Randy Orton, who has made it clear that he wants individuals like Jeff gone from WWE in order to regain his status, his
status as legend,
his fallen status as a legend. So I gotta say, regardless of whether Orton actually gets involved here or not, I gotta go with Nakamura.
Absolutely,
I don't see Hardy.
Shinsuke's needed a title for a long time. Jeff is now considered a Grand Slam champion. He doesn't need it back, and everyone across the board thinks Nakamura is going to retain, and I am locking on this match.
Ooh.
And I am putting my belt into that lock.
Ooh, bum, bum, bum. There we go.
Locked and loaded.
Big Four title.
Yep.
Ooh. All right, so it's in, folks.
Yep.
The lock is
Knocky,
in.
baby. Don't let me down.
Knocky, baby. Don't let him.
I mean,
knock a cocker. Don't let him down. All right. So what did Allison say?
Everyone thinks Shinsuke's taking it.
All righty then.
Naka's gonna rock all over his doodle doo. I meant to like rock a doodle doo, the old movie. It was a good movie.
You're dating yourself.
I'm old. I'm 30. So, next up.
Anyway.
SmackDown Women's title.
Well, dating yourself, Allison does better when she dates herself.
I was thinking, should I walk out? Allison, you want to take over?
Nope.
All right, in that case, SmackDown Women's title. We got Carmella versus Charlotte versus Becky versus Asuka. No. I think it's just
Carmella versus Charlotte versus Becky. Thank goodness. All right. I mean, don't get me wrong. We love ourselves some Asuka. Hey, we want some Asuka, but not for this match.
Hey, look, it's a 6-pack challenge.
Well, I mean, hey, Charlotte's got
She's got a nice 8-pack.
Yeah.
8-pack challenge, all being taken place on Charlotte's ribs.
You've thought it. What do you get off of Charlotte's 8-pack?
Yeah, this is a family-friendly show, so let's just keep going. So there's talks about
worry less about the family and worry less about what you're saying about your girlfriend.
So story goes.
Anyway,
it was supposed to be a one-on-one match between Becky and Carmella because Becky beat Carmella. And then Charlotte came back and Charlotte beat Carmella. So now Charlotte's in the match too, much to Becky's chagrin. So now the question stems, will these best friends be able to work together, or will one turn on the other to claim a victory? Because let's put it this way, nobody thinks Carmella's keeping.
Are we talking about them or talking about you and me here?
Oh, the implications. So the question stems. First off, nobody thinks Carmella's retaining here. So
no one. It's going either or here.
Yeah, it's Charlotte or Becky.
As much as I'd like to see Becky finally get the women's title back, they put Charlotte into this for a reason. She's going to come in. She's going to steal the win from Becky, possibly pinning or submitting Becky in the process. And then hopefully she'll move out to a one-off feud with Carmella, then move on to a feud with Becky. I'm going with Charlotte on this one.
And everybody else is going with Becky, including myself. So that's going to be an interesting one. You can trust Charlotte and Becky to put on a good show. We can only hope Carmella does not interfere with that.
Her name's just Becky? That's
Becky
it?
Lynch.
Becky Lynch.
Oh, okay.
So it's Carmella versus Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch.
With a name like Becky, she's got to be able to fight.
Oh, she knows how to fight. She's called the Last Kicker.
Yikes.
All right. So the next match is the other women's championship match.
Mhm.
Ronda Rousey finally getting her much-awaited opportunity, the Raw Women's Championship, her second championship opportunity against Alexa Bliss.
And if you had asked us like a week or two ago, we would have said Alexa had this one.
I imagine it'd been Alexa across the board. As it is, with the unfortunate passing of Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Yes.
Do you have,
There it is.
Of course,
Natalia is
Natalia's father.
Yeah. Natalia was a big factor in this match, which is why, and a few weeks ago, we thought Natalia was going to cost Ronda the match.
But she is currently on bereavement. She is mourning the loss of her father, so it's understandable if she's not a factor come this Sunday.
And that's what changes our opinion greatly.
I'm sure Alexa will have plenty of obstacles in store for Ronda at SummerSlam.
Yep. Alicia Fox in particular.
And possibly returning Mickie James.
If she can do it without hurting herself.
True. As it is, this is Ronda's time.
Yeah.
I'm going with Ronda. I'm going with Rousey.
Everyone's going with Rousey. And Allison is locking on Ronda.
Boom.
As long as Bliss doesn't tag team in Holly Holm, I think Ronda.
Oh. Well said. Well said.
Zing.
For those of you who don't know, that was the person who defeated the undefeated Ronda Rousey in the MMA.
All right. Now we come to one of my favorite matches.
This is the one you're looking forward to the most.
Well, that and the WWE title match.
Very true.
But this one,
but for personality reasons.
In terms of pure emotion, in terms of pure continuity and history, this is the match I am looking forward to the most. That is the draconian revival of the American Dragon Daniel Bryan
versus The Miz,
the Hollywood A-lister, The Miz. There you go. And
so, AKA
the Miz Kage,
the Huntsman versus Johnny Cage.
Hunt. He's the huntsman. And ironically, he's a vegan.
Very true. That's why he's like Robin Hood. He hunts the animals to feed to the poor.
Or in this case, a slaughterhouse.
And his next target is The Miz.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people are thinking, oh, Bryan's going to slaughter The Miz. He's going to steamroll him. This has been building for 8 years. Bryan's finally, he's returned from his retirement. He is steamed. He is intense. He is ready. And Miz has been doing his reality show stuff. The Miz and Mrs. every Monday night on USA.
Not even done airing and already renewed for a second season.
Nice.
You bet he's been gloating over this the entire time.
Exactly. And not to mention the way Miz has come into himself in the last couple of years. Eight-time Intercontinental Champion, former WWE Champion, United States Champion, Tag Team.
Close to consecutive most collective days as IC2. Yep.
Intercontinental Champion.
And who's the one who made sure he couldn't do it anymore for the time being?
Daniel Bryan pulling him over to SmackDown. And how did Miz repay him? Cost Bryan his initial opportunity to pursue the WWE Championship in a gauntlet match. All right, he has undermined Bryan's almost entire return since coming back from retirement at the top of 2018.
And he's gone everything. He's gone interfering with his matches. He's gone with keeping him from his dreams. He's gone to saying he's a better father than Daniel, saying he's a better reality star than Daniel, saying he's the better wrestler than Daniel.
He's got a better wife.
No one's really arguing that, honestly.
Shots fired.
I was never a fan of the Bellas. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not either.
Yeah, I don't know them personality-wise. Don't get on me. I only know them because of their character.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that and I hate reality stars. Period. So they did it first, which is why I'm like that anyway.
All right. So anyway, this match has been 8 years in the making, and I said this as my predictions for 411 Mania this weekend. Check out the website for the 411 Mania Roundtable this weekend. But I said the WWE production team deserves a raise for this. They put together probably the best series of videos I have seen for a feud since Rock Austin done to my way at WrestleMania 17.
Wow, that's a big claim.
That's a big claim considering WrestleMania 17 has stood the test of time as my favorite pay-per-view of all time.
The
first pay-per-view you ever saw.
Yep. The production team made this 3-parter. The first one about Daniel Bryan in the original NXT and being the rookie to the Miz's Pro, where Daniel Bryan couldn't listen to the Miz couldn't win a single match,
and was one of the first eliminated.
But on his first match on Raw against the Miz,
he won.
Then
you had him announcing his unfortunate retirement, and Miz was all too content to run roughshod on Raw, using Bryan's own vaunted offense and making it his own.
The it kicks.
Not even stealing the knee plus at times.
Even going the...
God forbid he tried to put on the yes lock. All right.
It's the Miz lock.
It's the misery lock. All right. Okay, so, and then you come to this year where Miz is, like I said, he's been undercutting Bryan at every turn since his in-ring return. Then you had the talking smack segment where you said,
"Let me tell you about a coward. Why don't you quit and go back to the bingo halls where people actually care about you?" Like Daniel having to walk away, admitting for the first time that he wanted to quit. The only reason he stuck around is because he promised Vince he'd wait out his contract. That is some realism you don't get normally.
Very true. All right. So basically, this match has been built up so very well. And that's why I can't see it ending right here. I mean, as much as people like to say, oh, this is the payoff. No. This is the start. This is merely the first chapter in a renewal of their long-standing rivalry. With that in mind, I mean, you can't have the hero winning. You can't have Bryan winning right here, because then, I mean, the story ends. Bryan gets his payback. He gets his payoff. What's the point of Bryan winning? Okay, I mean, then it just stops.
It doesn't have to. I mean, think about it. Bryan gets the win, just ekes it out, and then The Miz immediately hits him with a skull-crushing finale, and then undermines everything Bryan does until the point he has to go back. I get what you're saying. I do.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not saying this just because Miz is one of my favorites. Bryan is too. I gotta go with The Miz. I gotta go with The Miz.
The Miz needs somebody, because everyone else won Daniel Bryan.
Wow. Okay.
And for those of you who always doesn't have the spreadsheet, he's alone on quite a few of these actually. Now, so if the SummerSlam goes his way, there is no stopping him at this point.
No. And believe me, I'm gonna be all over this. I've been doubted before. Every time I'm on an island, sometimes I get swept under the rug. But a lot of times where I end up being the only one right, I keep bragging about, oh, I am the purveyor of wrestling knowledge. That's not just a title I give myself for the hell of it.
Yeah, you should have seen him the first few times I saw him where he was like, this is the time Jinder's going to lose the title. This is the time Jinder's going to lose the title. Only once did that actually happen.
And once it actually happened, and it didn't even happen on that paper. And it built up to the point where I just went off on Jinder, pointing out everything. And then Heyman did the job for me, saying how lousy of a champion Jinder was. So thank you. Apparently someone on WWE watches the show. Hopefully Paul Heyman. Because he basically said everything I wanted to say about how bad Jinder was a champion. So thank you, Paul Heyman. All right, but anyway, yeah. All right.
So next up is the SmackDown Tag Team Championships between the Bludgeon Brothers and the New Day.
Okay, I'm good now.
Yeah.
All right. Now this stands out not just because hey, it's the New Day. Okay.
New Day are always
they're always going to be perennial they're always stalwarts in the tag team ranks. But this stands out because it's really one of the easier ones to call. As much as I love the New Day, as much as I'd love to see them pull one out here,
they've been proven that they couldn't beat the Bludgeon Brothers before. It wasn't even close
at WrestleMania. I
mean,
obviously they haven't faced one-on-one since then.
Yes, but they are also constantly in a constant struggle against the Usos, and the Usos were not even close to beating the Bludgeon Brothers either. Yeah.
So yeah, I gotta go with Bludgeon Brothers.
Everybody went with Bludgeon Brothers on this one, and who knows? Maybe after this, we'll actually get the bar to get a chance to fight.
I would love to see Cesaro and Sheamus go up against.
Let's put it this way: I would love to see Cesaro go up against Harper.
Oh,
just those two alone would be amazing.
Big, hard-hitting boys.
Yeah.
Oh God, uppercuts and clotheslines and God knows what else.
I can imagine Harper going for a discus clothesline. Cesaro ducks and goes for a discus uppercut.
Oh my! A springboard spinning uppercut. God.
All right.
I never get tired of that.
So he was talking about another match.
Well, actually, I almost forgot to mention, Bludgeon Brothers, locking it down.
Ah, there's his lock. All locks have been in place.
All locks have been secured.
Okay, so we were talking about the other match that you were looking forward to the most. And this one I am definitely looking forward to.
I think there is a certain level of intrigue on this just because of who could really come out on top in this. We're talking about the WWE World Championship. The champion, the phenomenal
AJ Styles versus the Samoan Assassin, Mr. Joe.
Mr. Samoa Joe.
The real Samoa Joe.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, take that, Roman.
But his name's not Joe. So
don't confuse the kiddies.
AJ versus Samoa Joe, a match that has happened before outside of WWE. It's been proven.
It's happened in Ring of Honor. It's happened in TNA/Impact Wrestling. It has. I mean, these two transcended, going from hard-hitting adrenaline junkies in the X division to hard-hitting, soft-spoken veterans that they are now.
Very true. So they had to think, how are we going to set this up? Apparently they don't want to bring up their history together. So instead, Joe decided to attack his family, saying...
Verbally.
Obviously. Yeah, of course. No. Joe's such a good promo. He doesn't need to physically attack someone.
No, he doesn't.
Joe just comes out and says, you've been a champion through and through. You've neglected everything to be champion. You've even neglected your family, and your family knows it. And when I take the belt off you, you'll finally get to be the father you wish you were.
Just brusque, brutal, straightforward. Mm-hmm. That's how Joe works on the microphone. He's just I said this before. He has this cadence on the microphone. That's my favorite. Like, he has this attitude on the microphone that forces you to pay attention to what he has to say.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's like when you're in the coquina clutch. You have no point but to focus on getting free. When he's looking straight at the camera, when he's speaking on the mic, you can't look away. You have to look and hear what he has to say.
Best talkers in the company right now is Joe, Kevin, and Paul, and Miz. Those four.
Very much so. No doubt on that. As far as this match goes, again, this is another one where it could really go either way. As it is, AJ has been on a huge run since late 2017. He has taken on all comers. He's taken on Mahal. He has taken on Shinsuke. He's taken on KO. He's taken on Zayn. He's taken on Cena. He has taken them all on, and he's repelled them all.
Very true.
And now he's running up against someone, but this someone knows him not just on in-ring, in terms of in-ring chemistry, but someone who knows him on a very personal level.
Very true.
So this is going to be a very different, very intense, personal feud. One of my favorite kinds. Now, I could see Joe winning. I could very well see Joe winning right here. I think I'm going with AJ. It's not one I make with a ton of confidence. I think he'll squeak one out here. Okay. I don't think it'll be a fluke, but I think he'll just narrowly beat Joe out for the championship.
All right.
So I'm going with
first off, Allison and James also went with AJ. I am on my own on this one. I think Joe's going to take it. They've done this in NXT before, where Joe gets the belt, and then the champion will win it back. Imagine if Joe says all this stuff to AJ, takes the belt, and you see AJ losing his mind, and the only way that he knows to get it back is to put Joe through hell in a cell. So I'm going with Joe on this one.
Again, I can see it going, again, like you said, I mean, this could go either way.
Yeah.
And speaking of a match that could go either way, just when you think we've gotten out, they drag us back in.
We had the chance to have Bobby Lashley in this.
You did. You done.
You blew it.
You blew it. You done screwed up. You blew it. You did. You just did.
Roman beat Lashley, and everyone went, no.
Not again.
And they're like, well, maybe Lashley gets included, and then Lashley's never mentioned again. No.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing with Heyman happened.
Yep. Well,
first off, the match is Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns
for the Universal Championship. There you go.
Okay, take a good look at Brock. He hasn't been around much, so you need to get as many shots as possible.
So try to imprint that lovely glowing face.
Imprint those eyes above my head
as much as possible. His fourth eyes, third and fourth eyes.
My third and fourth eyes are Lesnar's. God, I'm a monster.
All right, so oh God.
I mean, they did good for the build up for a little while with what they were doing with Heyman. Because Heyman was trying to get Brock to come in,
it was actually a good swerve. I mean, Angle said, "Okay, I am sick of Lesnar no showing. I'm sick of him never being here. I'm sick of him never promoting the Universal Championship or even defending it. If he does not show up and actually be in the ring for this episode of Raw, Heyman is done. Heyman is fired
because Brock works under Heyman, not WWE, but Heyman works under WWE, so Heyman can be.
So Heyman was begging Lesnar, who basically just posted himself down in his dressing room, would not come to the ring. Heyman begged him, pleaded him, and it came to a point where Lesnar, for seemingly really the first time, really in terms of his relationship with
I'm
Heyman,
not your friend. I'm your. You work for me.
You work for me. Heyman works for Lesnar. He is not Lesnar's friend.
Yes.
Made that point clear. And sent off Heyman.
Heyman went into the ring and said, I agree with you, Kurt. He's not a good champion. He's a terrible champion. He doesn't do anything. I am with you. I think Lesnar heard that.
Oh, yeah. And then Lesnar comes out, F5's Kurt Angle, the general manager of Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it seems like that Heyman is gloating, yay, my job's safe, Lesnar takes him by the face, practically nearly suffocates him, and makes it clear that, basically without saying a word, that if Heyman pulls a stunt like that again, he's not going to have a client to leech off of.
And next week had one of the best promos of the entire year,
which I alluded to.
Absolutely.
I think it was last week.
It was last week. Yeah.
Last week. Actually, no, it was the week.
No, it was last week because that was for that Raw.
Yeah, last week. Okay, last week. Heyman, red-eyed, unshaven, tears coming down his eyes. He basically spilled everything that he couldn't stand about Brock, the fact that Reigns, but still, this was a Lesnar that Reigns had no virtual chance against unless...
And apparently that unless was...
having Heyman in Roman's corner rather than Lesnar's, telling him every secret that Brock has ever kept under lock and key.
You don't want to listen to me? Let me speak to you in your native language, because I actually ran with the Wild Samoans.
And he actually took the time to study Samoan so he could recite this to
Roman's face is great.
He was stunned. He couldn't believe it. And then instead of just tearing up the contract right then and there that Heyman offered him, securing their professional relationship, he looked it over.
Yep.
And then
the moment he did, everything went wrong.
Heyman took some pepper spray, sprayed it in his eyes, and for the record, this is for the WWE. This is the WWE ringside assistant that went to help him. The first thing you do with pepper spray is you don't splash water in his eyes. It only spreads it, you idiots. You stupid idiot.
Clearly Jericho hired him.
Yeah, clearly he did. Clearly.
So yeah.
But anyway,
you just went Goldust on that one.
I know. Yeah, well, yeah, a little callback right there. But anyway, so basically he blinds him. Here comes Roman is helpless. Roman can't fight. I'm paraphrasing Michael Cole right here, because as if it wasn't already freaking obvious.
And then Brock came out, and it was all a ruse. Heyman is still buddy-buddy with Brock, and that means the intrigue is now gone.
The intrigue is now gone.
They ruined it just before.
Or is it?
It is.
Or is it?
But no, it is.
Dude, okay.
I know.
They like to pile swerve on swerve on swerve. For all we know, okay.
Okay, fine. This is the lauded Roman heel turn, and it started with getting pepper sprayed in the face.
Not even that. Okay. How do you know? How do you know that wasn't all part of it? How do you know Heyman really isn't fed up with Lesnar?
Oh, I'm not saying he's not fed with Lesnar at all. He probably is. He probably is going to turn on him, but not go with Roman, which was the things that people were asking for.
Now, here's what I see. Here's what I see.
Okay.
All right. First off, I'm going with Reigns to win.
Okay.
Because you know what? Okay, it's just
it's got to happen eventually.
Do it already. Just do it. I know I'm quoting Shia freaking LaBeouf here. Just do it. For the love of God, do it.
Vince McMahon, don't let your dreams be dreams.
Just do it.
Funny enough, everyone else thinks Lesnar.
Oh my God.
Once again, Roman, you're the only one in Roman's corner.
Oy,
I'm sure you're so proud.
Don't rub it in.
Here's the thing. I would like to see Lesnar just beat Roman again. Say Roman is never going to beat Lesnar no matter what, and then Lesnar goes back to UFC.
Okay. So here's where the intrigue truly is.
Everyone said Braun Strowman wins.
It's almost guaranteed. It's almost guaranteed that there is going to, because you can never say never.
Yeah.
It could. Everyone thinks it could happen. It might not. You never know. Okay, but it's almost guaranteed with this particular scenario that there will be a Money in the Bank cash-in for Lesnar versus Reigns. Now, the real question isn't how it's going to happen, but when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Will it happen right before, like when the intros are going down, when everyone's in the ring, and we have a triple threat match? Will it happen midway?
A la Seth Rollins.
WrestleMania 31? Or will it go down after the match, after all the hoopla, after the aftermath, after the two have beaten each other, and they're all bruised and most likely bloody? So here's how we're going to do it. Now, the most unlikely scenario that we all agreed upon is that it'll happen right before the match, the cash-in. Now, the second most likely scenario is that it will happen during the match, and the most likely. So there's not much of a losing situation here. Is if it happens after the match. Now, okay. So the way this works is here's the thing. We are betting points. So here's the thing. if you pick before the match and you get it right, you get 3 points.
But
if you bet on it and you're wrong, you lose 3 points. So it basically works the same way. If you bet 2 points, you can either win or lose 2 points. If you bet 1 point, you can either win or lose 1 point.
Yes.
So really, this can go a number of ways.
Mm-hmm.
So as it is, I'm going to say there will be a cash in. I'm considering I've got a lot of solo picks right here. I'm going to take the safe bet. Here. I'm going to say it happens after the match, and which means I am putting up 1 point.
Everybody, hello Skeleton. Everyone has said it's going to be after.
All right, so everyone is betting just 1 point. We're all just a bunch of sissies here. We're all a bunch of sissies here, aren't we?
Pretty much. If that's the most likely option. I mean, that is what it is.
But we need some excitement. We need some zazz.
Okay, then bet on before.
I'm not. That's what you call a sucker bet.
Sucker for a sucker. All right, so all that's left on SummerSlam is the
main event time breaker.
Yes.
So
how long do we think the matches are closest without going over?
If there is a tie between 2 or more participants, we go to the main event. What ends up being the very last match on the pay-per-view, and whatever the match time ends up being, whoever is closest without going over, yes, Price is Right style, will win the tiebreaker and be the overall winner and king or queen, Allison, of pay-per-view. All right. So this being a Lesnar-Reigns match.
They've had long ones before.
They had long ones, but you also have to consider the fact that Lesnar is going to be doing prep work for UFC. He's going to want to keep things relatively short. So as champion, I'd say it's going to go 13 minutes and 30 seconds.
All right.
I think it'll be relatively long, but considering Reigns is going to be going right for Lesnar's throat, I can't imagine it's going to be a very drawn out match.
All right. Well, Allison went for 12 minutes.
Woo.
So it's actually pretty close.
12 minutes even?
12 minutes even. James went 10 minutes even. And I have the longest with 15 minutes even.
So this is going to be interesting because these are all very tight-knit times.
Yeah. Anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes will get somebody other than me.
Other than you. So this could very well come down to the tiebreaker. We know. You've got what's seemingly a guaranteed with Nakamura. You never know.
You never know.
You never know with WWE. You never know what.
Maybe Orton comes out and makes a no contest for all we know.
There you go. You never know.
Never know.
All right. So the matches are in. The picks are in. The locks are in. The Big Four title is in. The times are set. The cash in bets. The bets have been placed. SummerSlam is upon us in just 2 days. See,
and everyone is excited.
Look at Penn. Dance, Penn, dance.
Okay. Allison is adding a stipulation. Not really a stipulation, but a prize. Whoever wins the king gets the Scottish assorted toffee.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's actually from Scotland.
Ooh.
Gardener's traditional assorted Scottish toffee.
Drew McIntyre approved.
Don't say that. We don't actually have his approval.
Yes, we do. Don't you lie.
So, yeah. Toffee. 300 grams of toffee.
Ooh. Yummy.
3.5 ounces.
Okay.
All right. So we'll have to wait and see who gets the toffee.
Because
that's the biggest prize that we have.
Hey!
that comes with the belt, of course. Right. You know, we got it from a Cracker Jack box. It's a very big Cracker Jack box. The New Day gave us that Cracker Jack box. That's how big it was.
I made that championship
with my 2 hands.
And a box of scraps. Okay, I think we've exceeded the shout-out quota here. So, yeah. All right. So, anyway, like I said, everything's been locked in for SummerSlam. So this Sunday night, starting at 6 p.m. on the WrestlingConnection.com, the WrestlingConnection.com's pay-per-preview section. Head over there, WrestlingConnection.com, pay-per-preview section, at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, sharp. 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time to check out all the live pay-per-view coverage for SummerSlam 2018. And then we will come back to you next Friday. We will have the winners, the losers. The winner get a shiny new belt and a box of assorted toffees.
The loser gets to practice their singing voices, and maybe we get to decide what they sing.
And the winner also gets to decide the theme of the loser's Kaufman karaoke hit. All right. But in the meantime, we will see you this Sunday on the WrestlingConnection.com. But in the meantime, from Allison, from Dan, from yours truly, Ken Hill, this is the Wrestling Connection, and we remind you to have a safe weekend. And remember, as always, to be connected.
Get connected. Stay connected.
Play us out, Kermit.
Kermit the Frog, ladies and gentlemen.
Many times to ignore it, it's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday